This episode of the Pu'u Muay Thai podcast is brought to you by pmtlifestyle.com, authentic Muay Thai lifestyle by Pu'u. Definitely go check out the website at pmtlifestyle.com for some awesome lifestyle merchandise. That's for those of you out there either involved in Muay Thai, looking at getting involved in Muay Thai, and embrace a healthier lifestyle to live the life of a Nak Muay. Go check it out.
Swadee Kop, welcome to this episode of the Pu'u Muay Thai podcast. Today is Wednesday, September 6th, 2023. I missed you guys last week. As you may have heard on the past couple episodes, was really busy with travel and just everything that had been going on in Muay Thai for Pu'u Muay Thai. And for our team and just the Muay Thai community as a whole, there was just a lot of activity going on with Muay Thai. It was pretty insane. I'm very grateful for it too. So this past weekend, it finishes my around the North American continent, right? I was started in Tulum, Mexico. Then I was in Hammond, Indiana, Chicago, Phoenix, Arizona, Los Angeles, and then over to Denver, and then over to Honolulu on Oahu, the island of Oahu in Hawaii. This past weekend, you can see here I have in the background, if you are watching live on our TikTok right now, the background from the Muay Thai Business Academy, which was held on last Friday. It was like a great mishmash of both fighters, gym owners, coaches, media people, everybody that's involved in the Muay Thai business industry, meeting in Hawaii Kai in the beautiful island of Oahu, right? Shout out to Rich De Los Reyes, the WBC Muay Thai state rep of Hawaii, for inviting me out there as well. I got to do a presentation for a lot of other people that were there in regards to like social media contact and how to have like a effective communication with people such as you here on TikTok, right? So overall, it was just like a great time that I got to have there on Oahu. Got to connect to some of my family I haven't seen in a long time too. Just gonna have a little sip of coffee. And honestly, I'm glad to be back. Not traveling too crazy for the next couple months, but got a lot of new networking opportunities with people there too. If you ever see one of these Muay Thai business academies pop up, I highly encourage you to go. Even if you're just like a fighter, you need to understand the business that you're involved in, right? If you're trying to fight professionally, that's a business. If you're trying to make money on this, that's a business, right? So I gave a presentation called First Contact. I'm actually going to be releasing it. If anybody's actually interested that is a Muay Thai Academy owner, you're trying to start up a program, things of that nature, it is going to be something that you are interested in, okay? Along with that, I actually finally got our Pu'u Muay Thai podcast website up. It's podcast.puumuaythai.com. All right. The link is in the show notes. It's also, I'm going to be updating the link on the pmtlifestyle.com so that way everything goes to it. But I have a question submission form. So if you have questions for me, make it really easy. Just click the button, fill out the form, put your name, email. And if you just want a shout out, if you want me to give a shout out to somebody, you can also do that too. All right, so I would be super stoked to have you on there. Interaction with everybody in the Muay Thai community here on TikTok, Muay Thai community Discord, Instagram, online, and in person. It really vibes very well. So definitely participate. It would mean a lot to me, and it will help me. If you have a question, there's a really good chance that somebody else has the same exact question as you. All right, so very, very important. And I see that we got a few people here live on TikTok. Double tap the screen if you're on here and you want to support Muay Thai, a small minority-owned business. We are Muay Thai Academy in Ventura, California. We have one in Santa Barbara, California, owned by Coach Ryan Ughawk. Great platform for everybody. We didn't have Muay Thai here in the Central Coast, like in this part of our towns before. We opened up back in 2014. So I'm very grateful to be able to be serving our community for coming up on 10 years, right? 10 years of Muay Thai. It's been a fantastic journey, right? But go check that out. If you want to be featured on the show, if you're a fighter, if you're a media person, if you're involved in Muay Thai, or maybe even have a small business and you want to get some exposure to our audience, if you have a service that might benefit them, reach out. Just click on request to be featured and you just fill out the form. We go through it. If you don't hear from me right away, it's probably because I'm busy. If you've been listening to the podcast for any amount of time, I'm all over the place with travel and stuff like that too. But going back onto the Business Academy, met some great people, photographers. You can see in the picture in the background is Master Bob Carmel, my boss over in Arizona, giving a presentation on rules and regulations for the sport of Muay Thai and how we work as ring officials and stuff like that too. So really great presentation. If you weren't there, you missed out. And I'm surprised how many people don't actually read the rules and regulations of their local sanctioning organization, right? Read the rules. He said, you don't actually love Muay Thai unless you understand the rules and regulations. So this goes for any coach, any student, a fan. You want to read the rules and regulations. That way you know what's going on when you're watching Muay Thai. That is, education's why we're here, right? I've done some media content on that too, but try to keep it really simple for you guys. Going in after the Muay Thai Business Academy, there's also Fabiano Aoki out there from Samurai Soul. He's a WBC Muay Thai promoter in Arizona, and also former heavyweight world champion, WBC Muay Thai world champion. Great guy. So he's out there supporting the whole event and out there for the Business Academy. The following day, I got to attend my first what they call an MDL. An MDL is the Muay Thai Development League. There's no winners, no losers. It takes place on a mat. It's like one of those semi-contact events. And they have a unique feedback rating system, these scorecards. I attended what they called the Youth Development League before, but now they include adults. So that's why they call it the Muay Thai Development League. This is for everyday people who are not sure if competition's for them. It's a great opportunity for them to be able to get experience and be able to see hey, is Muay Thai really going to be for me? And what's great about that is it really opens the door for people maybe that would have never thought of competing before. Maybe they realize hey, I can actually do this, right? So I got to attend that. There was I think around 130 competitors out there at St. Louis High School on Oahu. Again, just great time. Spent all day there, morning weigh-ins, all day at the tournament there for that too. And seeing a lot of people get some experience. Ran into some people I met over in Bangkok that live on the islands as well. They had all the different islands, the Big Island, Maui, they had Molokai, Oahu. Everybody was represented from the Hawaiian Islands. We had some people from the mainland also, from California, Arizona, and even Denver, where Colorado were out there too. So truly an international event. They're really trying to make Hawaii a tourist destination for Muay Thai. And I'm not mad about it. And I don't think anybody that's listening is to be mad about going to Hawaii to go to a Muay Thai event. On the Sunday, they did a what they call the Muay Thai amateur athletics circuit, I think is what it is. MTAC for short. So they basically, it's they're wearing shin guards, headgear, elbow pads, and it's a whole developmental thing. They had 18 bouts, some great fights. It was cool to see some of the fighters that fought on the last one that I was out there for, fighting again and improving, right? Because a couple of the people that were there got selected to go compete for the national team in Monterrey, Mexico, for a WBC Muay Thai tournament that's down there. It's essentially like the Pan American Games. All different countries in North America, Central America, South America are going to be going to Monterrey, Mexico in the first week of November. I got invited to go out there and go work it, but I'm not sure if I can go out to it. So I can't afford it. So if you enjoy the content and enjoy hearing this stuff, go buy a Pu'u Muay Thai pin over on the website. I hate asking for this kind of stuff, but I'm just being fully transparent here. It would help us to be able to have higher quality officiating at these tournaments and stuff like that too. I wish that they would be able to pay my way to be able to go, but the reality is the sport is not really there yet. But with people like One Championship, right, that's starting to change. So I hope that continues to change and trend upwards towards more cash flow coming into the sport through sponsors and stuff like that as well. Overall, just like I said, great experience at the MTAC, and the whole community out there in Hawaii it was freaking fantastic, right? If you are on here and you have a question that you want me to address here on the podcast, like I said, if you have a question, that means that it's probably a question that a lot of other people have, and it would help with them. It would help answer that question, okay? So that way I can like share somebody asking the question, hey, listen to this episode of the podcast. It makes everybody's life much easier. It makes the coach's life much easier out there in the Muay Thai community, your training partners, things like that too. All right. So with that, I did have a few people who were asking some questions about Muay Thai in particular over this past weekend. And it more so had to do with like Muay Thai developing as a whole, right? So a lot of people, like we talked about like ring officials, for example. It's an integral part of Muay Thai. Like without a solid ring official crew, the judging's all messed up, they're making the wrong calls in the ring, supervision, like everything's just off, right? But the thing is, we're kind of like small time right now. Muay Thai is small time. MMA is getting big time. Boxing is really big time, right? There's a lot of money in boxing. And in order for the sport to grow and be authentic, it's important for people to understand that they need to talk to people about Muay Thai, right? If you love Muay Thai and you want to see it grow, you have to do your part to educate yourself. If you're a student at our academy, we just released the Muay Thai, the Pu'u Muay Thai Knowledge Vault on our Spark member app. So that is like all of our content that we've been putting out, and including guides that we sell online for people and courses and things like that. It's all included for the Pu'u Muay Thai students. So we want our students to have that knowledge, to gain that, right? We want them to learn about Muay Thai. We want them to learn how Muay Thai can benefit them and their families and their kids and their nieces, their nephews, grandkids, everybody, right? So it's also for the people who are watching or listening to this to understand that it's also your job to do that too, right? We want Muay Thai to grow. Doing this traveling, people think like, hey, you're making a lot of money. No, we're really not. And I'm not doing it specifically for the money. Money's great if you get it, but this is truly like a passion thing for me. I've talked about my purpose before, is to have a positive impact on as many people as possible. Muay Thai is that vehicle I get to do that through, and I'm very grateful for it. I want to continue to be able to do it. I hope I can continue to be able to do it. And a lot of people on our staff at the academies are that way too. Like I know Coach Ryan, he's like that. I know Crew Ed's like that. And kind of going through and learning all these different aspects, it's like our job to try to impart that knowledge. That way you guys, because you teach one that teaches one that teaches one, right? And a lot of people, I think the perception is that there's a lot of money in Muay Thai. And there's really not. Like and these guys are fighting for $500, right? To give you an example, just to prepare for an amateur fight, it's about $1,500, $1,500. That includes your diet, right? All the food you have to buy. That includes personal training, recovery stuff, bags of ice, massage, physical therapy if you need it, and stuff like that too. Your tuitions, like your training program that you're at your training facility, your travel, and your time off work. So $1,500 for a single fight for an amateur. So you're paying that to be able to go out and compete. And the thing is, with like amateur competition, with those fights, they're not guaranteed. You could spend all that money, sell all the tickets and stuff like that, and the day before your match at the scale, or even the day before weigh-ins, it can get completely scratched, and there isn't anything you can do about it. It's time lost. It's time invested in you, but you don't get to have that peak moment, right? Whereas like a Muay Thai tournament, let's say, for example, if you do a tournament, you can fight like 4 times in a weekend if you have a full bracket. And that's assuming that you get to the finals, right? That's about $2,600 because of the additional travel expense and time off work. You're doing the same amount of training, right? And you're guaranteed at least one fight. So for an extra $1,000 of your personal expenses, you're guaranteed you're going to go out and go fight, right? Or at least you'll know. You can look at the brackets online and see if there's anybody registered or how many people are registered in your brackets. Like, hey, is this worth me going, right? If you fight like for, let's say it's $2,600, right? So 2,600. Let's say you fight 4 times. So that comes out to $650 per bout that you're paying, right? $650. That sounds a hell of a lot better than like $1,500, right? Where it's not even guaranteed. So you can guarantee at least one. So that's kind of like why I really encourage people to do these tournaments, and it's important for people to understand. Like that's like, you might be thinking like, "Whoa, that's a lot of money," but it's an investment in yourself. It's an investment in your personal skill development. Right? If you love Muay Thai and it's something that you want to do, you need to invest in your training. That is just what it comes down to: seminars, going to workshops, going to these business academies, invest in your social media, invest in podcasts, right? Like we do, because we really truly enjoy doing what we love to do, and we want to continue to do it for years to come. We appreciate all the support, and we love everybody on the Muay Thai community Discord and stuff like that too. So it's important for everybody out there to understand this, and these sanctioning bodies and stuff. No one's getting rich off this stuff, man. There's a lot that's involved in it, and the expenses are very high with inflation and stuff like that too. It's just everything's going up, right? And it's been difficult. Like we did our first tuition increase in our Ventura Academy since 2019. Because we were holding off as much as we could, and we had to do like a slight tuition increase for like all new incoming students. And honestly, we probably have to do another one in the not too distant future. So just full transparency for everyone, because the thing is that the cost of doing business in California is very high. For our industry, there's only one workers' comp provider. It's called State Fund, right? Some business insights for you guys. With State Fund, you have to file. I'm literally working on our annual reports right now for the academies. It's your only option. You have to pay via check, right? They don't even do like online. They do online payments, but they're nothing automatic. It doesn't tie into your accounting software. You have to manually calculate everything, right? So you have that. Back in 2020, January 1st, 2020, they changed the state of California. They have what's called Assembly Bill 5 or AB 5. So in our industry, it was standard for martial arts instructors to be 1099 contractors. With onset of AB 5, we can no longer do that. We had to make everybody employees. Hence, what happened was the money that we were paying the instructors, basically we had to pay the instructors less because we had to make them hourly regular employees, right? And then the business also had to pay more for the workers' comp insurance, had to pay more in payroll taxes and stuff like that as well. So where that raise would have been for our 1099 contractors, that got cut away, right? With that. And then they got a pay cut. It just took the money out of the working middle class hands, right? The people that are doing the work are not getting the money. So then COVID hit, right? So it did this like kind of cumulative effect, and it's just now started, like for me personally, our for Pu'u Muay Thai, like things are just now starting to like stabilize for us to understand what our actual next steps need to be in order to be able to sustain for another 10 years, another decade. For me, I'm going to be at least in it for another 10 years. So probably longer, but that's my goal. When I started, it was 20 years. So here we are. All right, we're already almost a decade into it. Very grateful for it. But with that too, like, we get it for our students. Like everybody's got prices increased, right? Like it seems like YouTube, Spotify, like all these subscription services use Netflix. Everybody increased their subscription costs at the same time, right? It was like within like a week or two. It was like everybody like got together and talked about it. It's pretty insane. We did it. We basically cut like everything as much as we could, just keep what we need with that, because it's like, hey, if 4 people increase their subscription costs, right? Hey, you gotta like cut 1 or 2 of them. So that's kind of where we're at for Pu'u Muay Thai, and just a little bit of like some business insights, things that we talked about, because not every state did that. Not every state had that law. And the thing is, some lobbying groups, like people for Uber and for hairstylists and stuff, they were able to lobby to get exemptions for their company, right? Again, Muay Thai doesn't have money, so we don't have a freaking lobby group. We don't have a lobby group to be able to push that kind of thing. So for us, we just kind of had to eat it on the chin and adapt and keep moving forward. But that's going to be it for today, guys. On that note, again, if you have questions or comments or anything training, Muay Thai related, fight related, I would love to hear it. Go to the link in our show notes. It's podcast.puumuaythai.com. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in today. Have a great day. All right, that's it today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys are listening on iTunes, please go leave a review. It means the world to me if you enjoy the content, if you like hearing about all the stuff that has to do with Muay Thai and what we're doing.